Today is a blessing. In every breath you take, in every step you make, there lies a gift, a divine whisper that reminds you that you are cherished beyond measure. I want you to hear me, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. This is not just another day, this is the day that the Lord has made, and you are not here by chance or coincidence. As the psalmist sings in Psalm chapter 118, verse 24, "This is the day which the Lord hath made, we will rejoice and be glad in it." Let this verse ring in your heart as you journey through this moment because, today, you are blessed. Do not let the ordinary nature of the sunrise fool you into thinking that today is just like any other day. You have been given a gift, a chance to live, to breathe, and to experience the love of God anew. Let me remind you, God's mercies are not used up, they do not expire, and they do not fade with the setting sun. In the book of Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 to 23, we are promised, "It is of the Lord's mercies that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning, great is thy faithfulness." When the world threatens to weigh heavy on your spirit, remember this, God's faithfulness is not a past tense promise, but a living, breathing truth for today and for every moment hereafter. I recall a story shared by a woman I once ministered to, a woman who felt like the echoes of past mistakes had defined her. Her head was bowed, not in prayer, but in the weight of shame. She believed that she was unworthy of God's blessings. But I spoke to her of the man who was a thief on the cross, who, in the very last breaths of his life, turned to Jesus and asked to be remembered. And Jesus, full of compassion, full of grace, said in Luke chapter 23, verse 43, "Verily I say unto thee, today shalt thou be with me in paradise." Do you see the significance, beloved? Even when hope seemed lost, mercy was not withheld. Today is a blessing because mercy is not just available, it is abundant. You are not defined by your past failures or moments of doubt. The enemy would have you believe that you are bound by the chains of your history, but let me tell you, those chains have been shattered by the power of the cross. When Jesus declared, "It is finished," in John chapter 19, verse 30, he was not just speaking about his earthly suffering, he was proclaiming victory over everything that binds you. Sin, guilt, shame, fear, these have no claim over you because today, through him, you are redeemed. Sometimes, the blessings of today are wrapped in the small, often overlooked moments. I once visited a hospital room where a young father, holding his newborn daughter, wept silently. He was overwhelmed by the weight of responsibility, afraid that he would fail, uncertain if he was worthy of the task ahead. But as I laid my hand on his shoulder, I reminded him of the words in Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace, and not of evil, to give you an expected end." That young father needed to know that the God who formed that precious child in her mother's womb, the same God who counts the very hairs on our heads, has plans that are good. He whispered through tears, "I trust you, Lord," and in that moment, peace enveloped him like a warm embrace. Today, that peace is available for you too. There are days when the storm clouds gather, and the sky grows dark with uncertainty. You may ask yourself, how can today be a blessing when I am surrounded by trials? But remember, beloved, the disciples once found themselves in a storm so fierce that they thought they were perishing. Yet Jesus, with all the authority of heaven, stood and rebuked the winds and the waves, saying, "Peace, be still," in Mark chapter 4, verse 39. And the winds obeyed, and there was a great calm. This was not just a story for a distant time, this is the promise for you today. No matter how fierce the storm, no matter how high the waves rise, the voice of your Savior still commands the sea. The storm in your life may not end in an instant, but the one who holds you is greater than the storm itself. Think of David, who faced Goliath not with armor or sword, but with faith. When the giant loomed before him, intimidating and insurmountable, David declared in 1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 45, "Thou comest to me with a sword, and with a spear, and with a shield. But I come to thee in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom thou hast defied." And it was not David's strength or skill that felled the giant, it was the power of God. Today, whatever your Goliath may be, fear, doubt, a challenge that seems impossible, Stand firm, not in your own strength, but in the power of the Almighty who goes before you. The weight of this world can sometimes feel suffocating, especially when the voices of doubt and defeat speak louder than the whispers of hope. But I want to remind you that today, you are blessed because you are not alone. Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 6 tells us, "Be strong and of a good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee, he will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. You may walk through fire, but you will not be burned. You may pass through rivers, but they will not sweep over you, for the one who created the heavens and the earth walks with you." Let me tell you about a man who came to a service one Sunday, eyes hollow with exhaustion, weighed down by burdens that only he and God knew. He was a father, a husband, trying to make ends meet, feeling like he was one step away from breaking. I spoke of Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 to 30, where Jesus says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light." That man wept, not just because he was tired, but because he realized that he did not have to carry the weight alone. Today, you do not have to carry your burden alone either. Do not let today pass you by without seeing its beauty, without acknowledging that you are here, breathing and living in the light of God's unending grace. When you woke up this morning, grace was already waiting for you. When you stepped into the day, mercy met you at the door. You may not have all the answers, and you may still be waiting on a breakthrough, but even in the waiting, God is working. Romans chapter 8, verse 28 promises us, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose." It is not a mere hope, it is a divine assurance. Every step you take today is a testament to the power that lives within you. The same power that raised Christ from the dead resides in you, and that is not a power that falters. It is unwavering, steadfast, and it is yours, not because of what you have done, but because of who God is. The Apostle Paul wrote in Philippians chapter 4, verse 13, "I can do all things through Christ which strengtheneth me." Let this be your anthem today. Whether you are facing a mountain or walking through a valley, you are equipped and empowered, not by your might, but by the Spirit of God. Today, as you read these words, know that God's eyes are upon you, his thoughts are for you, and his plans are unfathomably greater than anything you could imagine. There may be days when you feel forgotten, but Isaiah chapter 49, verse 15 reassures us, "Can a woman forget her sucking child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee." You are not forgotten, you are seen, you are known, and you are loved. And as the sun sets tonight and the day draws to a close, remember that God is still with you in the quiet, in the silence, and in the in-between moments. His love does not wane with the fading light, it endures. His promise is steadfast. "Lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world." Matthew chapter 28, verse 20. So today, live with the confidence that you are held in the hands of a God who does not let go. Today, you are blessed, not because of what surrounds you, but because of who surrounds you. The Almighty, the Redeemer, the Shepherd of your soul.